Let's say hello to Alfonso, the founder.
Uncle Steve, can I just comment?
Yeah, you may.
I just want to say there's no such thing as a non-sectarian prayer, right? A lot of people in the Christian right, a lot of churches say, well, we'll have non-sectarian prayer. There's no such thing, right? There's not even a prayer that I could come up with that wouldn't do all Christians.
I think the only thing that would qualify, Reverend Scott, is silent prayer.
Exactly, just a moment of silence would qualify, right? If you had a moment of silence, other than that, the minute you're using words, the minute you're talking to some God or something,
right,
somebody's going to feel alienated. Somebody's going to say, my tradition doesn't adhere to that. We don't believe in a personal God. We don't. We use female pronouns for God. We do this or we do that. You can't please everybody. It would just be alienating.
Absolutely true. Thank you, Reverend. Let's say hello to Alfonso, the founder of the Atheism House. Alfonso, thank you very much. Welcome back, and thanks for doing the heavy lifting. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning. I hope you got some sleep.
A little bit.
Still working on it. Still working on it. Okay. Thank you very much. If you're in the audience and want to come on up, please do. Let's say hello to El Normo. El Normo was part of our, I don't know what you want to call it yesterday. It certainly wasn't a soiree. And El Normo, thank you for taking my call yesterday. Appreciate that. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Uncle Steve and the Mod Squad.
Good morning. Would you like a fresh five at this time?
Sure.
You got it.
Thank you. So I'm coming to you live from my synagogue where we had morning prayer and then a little bit of study. And what did we study? We studied the idea of Kedusha, the idea of sanctification and exaltation. And so as my fellow atheists and non-atheists, I pose the question to you, is there anything that is holy in your life? Anything that is sanctified in your life? Anything that is exalted in your life? Anything at all? And how do you acknowledge this sanctification or exaltation? It's an interesting question that I thought I would pose to people. Obviously, we, the Jews, sanctify God, and we revere the Torah and treat it as an object of tremendous holiness. Even I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, an atheist like Uncle Steve, who I don't really believe is an atheist, would consider the Torah a holy object. So it poses or begs the question, what do we consider holy in our lives? And in what way do we treat this holy thing or entity differently than we treat everyday life? And I'll land it there.
Thank you, Norm. I think you just got here a few minutes ago, so you probably weren't around when we opened the show, and we were talking about what I posted on the Jumbotron, the recent Pew Research Center study, where they went to 22 countries and over 30,000 people, and they're talking about the fast rising community of nuns, not N-U-N-S, but N-O-N-E-S. Those are the religiously unaffiliated. And since nobody new is on stage yet, and if you want to come on up, please do, we'll spend a little bit more time talking about that. Many religiously unaffiliated adults also express belief in God. Norm, this includes solid majorities of nuns in South Africa, 77%, and several countries in Latin America, such as Brazil, 92%, Colombia, 86%, and Chile, 69%. Religiously unaffiliated adults in Europe and Australia are much less inclined to believe in God. Just 18% of nuns in Australia, 10% in Sweden, and 9% in Hungary are believers. In the United States, 45% of nuns say they believe in God according to the Pew Research study. Another relatively common belief among people who do not affiliate with any religion is that animals can have spirits or spiritual energies. In Greece and several Latin American countries, at least 75% of nuns believe in this. It might seem surprising that sizable shares of nuns express any religious or spiritual belief, yet non-belief is not always the main reason people have no religious affiliation. The survey conducted in the United States, 30% of nuns said an extremely or very important reason that they are non-religious is that they have had bad experiences with religious people. About the same share who cited non-belief in God or a higher power as a key reason. Even more nuns said they are non-religious because they don't like religious organizations, almost half. And we've talked on the show many times about why religious people turn to being an agnostic or an atheist, and why atheists or agnostics turn to religious affiliation. A huge majority of the time, it's due to some type of trauma in their life, whether it's a one-time trauma or an ongoing trauma. That is posted up at the top. Let's say hello to Richard. Richard, thank you for being part of the Mod Squad. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Uncle Steve. I apologize for being late for my second term as being on stage as a mod, but
that's okay. You're allowed to come and go as you please. You know the rules.
I had a very strange experience this morning. Economically, I'll make it very quick.
Take your time. Nobody knew it was on stage.
Last night I watched Superman, and by the way, there's something about Superman which is pertinent to this dog conversation, because the hero of the new Superman is Crypto the dog. He both saves. I'm not going to.
His name is Crypto.
His name. I believe it's Crypto, and the dog saves his life. I don't want to spoil the movie, but at the very opening of the movie, quite literally, the dog saves Superman's life. His dog, Crypto is, I don't know exactly all the story of Crypto, but it's a dog who saves his life at the very opening of the movie. He wears a little red cape, and he's all white. He's a white dog. I don't know.
Crypto is, of course, named after Krypton, Superman's.
It's named after Krypton.
Planet. I forget.
The planet. And I think he came with. Did he come in the?
Not originally. He was a later edition. I'm a huge comic book nerd, but I forget.
Okay, so
exactly. But he was not. He was an edition later.
But if you watch the entire movie, you will. There is this tremendous homage to the animal world through Crypto. I don't want to spoil the movie, but I can say that much without being a spoiler. Having said that, back to the original, the reason I was late is that it's called Amazon Prime, which was becoming my god recently, but it's no longer my god because Amazon Prime I bought a $14.50 movie, and it charged my card $199.99.
No shit.
And I was on the phone this morning quickly to say, excuse me, and WTF, and what? I watched a $14.50 movie, and you're charging me $100?
And what did they say?
Get off my back. That's why I was late. So I do apologize.
Well, what did they say? What did they say?
They said that they don't think that it will come through because it's so outrageous. But it's going to stay on my card until like 2 weeks and then I should try and call them and tell them to cancel it and just put $14.50 on, which I have to do later after the show. Never mind. Just an aggravation for being late, and that's my reason, my excuse.
Thank you.
But I'm so sorry. So
No,
carry on.
there's no need to apologize. And by the way, speaking of Amazon Prime and Netflix, I caught a news story on my newswire. Netflix and Prime have always been into sharing, where if you have an account, you can share it with somebody else at no extra charge. I heard a news story that sometime in the near future, probably towards the end of the year, that sharing is no longer going to be allowed. So if you want to watch Amazon Prime or Netflix, probably by the end of the year, you're going to have to get your own account. So just keep that on your
Well, I do
back.
have my own account. That's the funny thing. Why are they punishing me? No, never mind.
That's okay.
I'm
No.
showing too much emotion here.
No,
This
no
is a
problem at
rational
all.
situation. Uncle Steve, I can handle it.
I know you can.
Yeah, I will handle it. It's just, never mind. It was just a moment and an excuse for being late. And anyway, welcome to Uncle Steve's
Ask the
the
Atheist.
best show
Ask the
on.
Atheist.
Yeah, welcome to Ask the Atheist and the House of Appel's best show going
Atheism
forward.
House. Atheism
This is
House.
Atheism House.
Richard is
Welcome to
all for Klimt. Richard is all for
I am
I'm wondering if we can
But
comment
thank
on the
you.
question.
Welcome
asked.
everybody, and you are lucky to be here. And hey, hi all mods.
JCC, please comment on the question, please.
Yeah. So as an atheist, nothing traumatic has influenced me not to believe in a God. I've been a non-believer since I had the conception of what is comporting with reality and what is not. And this claim of God does not comport with reality. Therefore, I'm a non-believer. I'm an atheist. I didn't know I was an atheist till I understood what the term meant. And so as regarding to, is there something I hold sacred or holy? No. What I do respect mostly, high on the totem pole of regards to importance, is life in general. Life is the utmost important thing. Now, I do accept that there are times where sometimes when a person is dealing with a terminal illness, and instead of pushing on through and living a miserable life, that life could be ended sooner than the ailment causing them to die. So in that regard, you may say I'm being hypocritical by not holding life important, because I value the euthanasia process. That is a good thing, and I think we all should really look into that and explore it and take it for what it is. But yes, I don't hold anything holy or sacred. I just respect life. Life is very...
We've got 3 minutes to the break. Would anybody else on the Mod Squad like to answer the question that Norm proposed?
I actually had
Yes.
a question. I wanted to ask if the study mentions how the more fervent, organized religious majority feels about nuns. I mean, are they kind of saying, well, it's better than them feeling nothing? Or is it a matter of if they won't follow the rules, they're not really believers?
The study does not say that, or at least from what I've read, but I haven't read the whole article yet.
Okay, I was thinking...
I would suspect that the houses of worship are not happy that many people have been leaving. I suspect they're not happy about it.
Right, but I mean, are they happy that these people at least still believe? I mean, does that count enough for them, or are they totally counted out of believers because they aren't following the rules of some non-secular religion?
Well, let's go back to Norm for a moment, because Norm said he was in shul today. Norm, have you noticed the numbers in your synagogue have been decreasing, and have you spoken to any of the higher-ups in how they feel about this? We got about 2 minutes before the break.
Our numbers have been increasing steadily. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And we're really comfortable with diversity.
Are you in an Orthodox temple?
Yeah, not a temple. We don't say temple. That's for the Reformed.
What do you say?
Shul.
Shul. Thank you.
Welcome. And yes.
And that does not surprise me, because if you're in an Orthodox, like I was raised Reform, I went to a Reform temple. When you are practicing Orthodoxy, you are sticking to very old traditions, like you're practicing Shabbat every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. You're not working during that time. You're not driving your car. Some don't even turn on the lights or their sprinklers or water. Yeah, no,
You can leave the lights on.
Right, I'm aware of that, but you're not allowed to flip them on or off. You can leave them on. Right, exactly. And then, of course, some people put them on timers, so they justify, well, the timer's doing it, I'm not doing it, which, whatever, you live your life the way you want. But your numbers are increasing, and you're in an orthodoxy shoal, and that does not surprise me, because I find that people that practice Orthodox, they are there basically for the entire part of their life. They're extremely more committed than the way I was raised Reform or even the conservative Jewish movement. And and there you go. And there's 1 hour in the tank. And well, it's been a great hour. Thank you, everybody. And welcome to another edition of Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. If you're here for the first time, this is the way the show works. Everybody in the audience is encouraged to be bold, brave, courageous. Come on up, and you can talk about anything you want. God, religion, current events, politics, you, me, the show. And we're going to take our mandatory break right now, and we will be back for our number 2. Please come on up. We're a friendly bunch. We'll see you after the break. Here's some Jackson Brown for you on Ask the Atheist.
We are listening and recording to the Uncle Steve Atheism Show with his Mod Squad. We'll click on the phone.
Lower rate than people who identify with religion. The Pew Research Center, our gold standard here at Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad, surveyed over 30,000 people in 22 countries. Around the world, many people who do not identify with any religion nevertheless hold a variety of spiritual and religious beliefs, including the belief that there is life after death. The number of adults who are religiously unaffiliated, describing themselves as atheists, agnostics, or nothing in particular, has climbed rapidly in the recent past across North America, Europe, parts of Latin America, and some countries in the Asian Pacific region, such as Australia and South Korea. In general, religiously unaffiliated people are less likely to hold spiritual beliefs, less likely to engage in religious practices, and more likely to take a skeptical view of religion's impact on society than are Christians, Muslims, and people who identify with other religions. But sizable percentages of religiously unaffiliated adults, again called nuns, do hold some religious or spiritual beliefs, according to the National Representative Survey. Again, 22 countries, 30,000 people. Let's say hello to Cora Corin. It's kind of early. She's probably on her first cup of coffee. She'll probably just say, good morning. Hi, Cora. Good morning. She's
Sorry, I had the article open.
No, that's okay.
I'm
Not
get
a
my
problem.
microphone.
No problem.
Yes, good morning. I was like, I'm reading through the article. The whole thing with this idea of like spirit or spirituality that's like such an imprecise term, you know?
How about, well, do you prefer Sky Daddy?
No, I mean,
I didn't think so.
nothing in spirituality like implies hierarchy, implies, assumption of a mind-created universe. None of that. Like, I mean, because like even like something like pantheists would fall into like a quote spirituality category, and people that are wholly physicalists that think that somehow the universe in a material or physical way generates like a collective consciousness, right? That would be considered spirituality too. So I don't know that spirituality necessarily is exclusive of being agnostic or atheist, So to me, it's like kind of a weird question.
Yeah, no problem. And before we go to if you're in the audience and want to come up, please do. Before we go to the Mod Squad, here's someone else who wants to chime in about God and religion.
Because I got to tell you the truth, folks. I got to tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, You have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you. He needs your money. He loves you and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars, they pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit.
All right. And if you're in the audience and want to come up like Frank just did, please do. Let's say good morning to Frank. Frank, good morning. Welcome to Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. What would you like to talk about?
This morning I had a conversation with a woman who was an attorney, I guess, of some sort. And she was encouraging me to read Lee Strobel's book. I'm sure many of you know it. It's called The Case for Christ. I've thumbed through some stuff about it online, never read it cover to cover. But I wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive in it because I know she's an attorney and wants to, respond in a way that she might hear. And oh my God, no pun intended. What a load of horse shit. That someone who's an attorney would treat that as authoritative is really just remarkable to me. At no point in the entire book does he speak to a non-believer. He lies about his timeline of conversion to Christianity from, quote, being an atheist, yet there's no indication or record of him actually having been even skeptical, much less an atheist. So I'll talk to her again probably later this week, but I was just amazed that someone who is an attorney who was used to building cases read a book called The Case for Christ and found it convincing. That to me was really just mind-blowing. So that's what I came to say.
Let's don't go away just yet. Let's go to Reverend Scott. Reverend, are you familiar with Lee Strobel and or the book? Reverend Scott, he might be drinking the sacramental wine.
Yes, I am.
Did you want to comment?
I don't love that book. I think I think it's probably helpful for some people. I think in general most apologetic texts are not really aimed at non-believers. I think they're aimed at strengthening the faith of the faithful, like giving the faithful, the already convinced, assurance and reasons and ways to articulate their own faith. And there are some exceptions, but in general, I think that's usually the case. Lee Strobel's book isn't particularly sophisticated. I mean, it's not a particularly he's not a scholar or anything. I mean, the book is not poorly written. I mean, he was a journalist, kind of. I don't know if I celebrate a journalist or a journeyman kind of journalist, but he, I haven't done the research on whether or not I don't know about the sincerity of his conversion or anything, and I'm not going to question it, but it's not it's a sort of mid-level book that I think is probably helpful for some people, but it's not a book I find. A book I do find helpful, an author I found helpful about faith in a secular age is a guy named Tomas Halik, who was, I've read a lot of his stuff. I'm currently trying to get him on my podcast, reading two of his recent books, but he was a Czech priest in the underground church under communism. His day job was a psychoanalyst. and he was moonlight. He had to be a secret priest. His stuff on he deals a lot with Nietzsche, very sympathetic to continental philosophy, and he's very sympathetic to atheism. And if you're looking for something on faith that's on faith in a sort of secular post-Christian world, Alik is.
Can you put a link to that down below?
I can. I sure can, Frank. I sure can.
That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, I was just struck by the disingenuousness of it. That he does purport to be writing this book for, people that aren't sure of their beliefs, and his whole first chapter is kind of like trying to position himself as I was agnostic, and this book is written for people who don't really believe yet, and blah blah. And it's just such a load of horseshit. It's just generic apologist stuff that I didn't even get to the chapters about historicity or anything like that, because if you're only going to interview apologists, your conclusion is a foregone one, and you're not really doing research, you're just doing regurgitation. So
yeah, that's a good point. Don't go away yet either. I got something else. There is somebody who was raised in a firm belief in God, became a licensed Pentecostal preacher, and up till the day he died, he firmly believed in God. And he does a little bit called If Jesus Had a Wife, Check It Out.
Okay.
You may know who this is.
I'm reading this.
Yep. Hold on, y'all. Try that one more time. Here we go.
I'm reading this. It's an exciting story, but I read it and I thought, I know Jesus was never married. Guy never had a wife. No, he was never married, because no wife would buy this story in 100 years.
Oh, yeah.
The disciples will, the believers will. No wife would buy this fucking story. Good luck. Good luck with this story. First of all, he leaves on Friday afternoon with 12 other guys. He's gone for 3 days. No message. No way to get in touch with her. He comes home Monday afternoon looking like he hasn't slept. Seems like he's partied out, man. And Mrs. Jesus is just waiting on him. Okay, I guess it's day 3 of this shit. Well, I'm glad you can find your way home, Savior. Where's your 12 friends who won't get a job? I went in. Yeah, disciples my ass, they're losers. Every one of them are using it. You're not even smart enough to know it. Anybody says I believe, we put them up and feed them. I'm secular. Wait a minute. Jesus is going, I don't need this shit. Not after what I went through this weekend. No, honey, I'll tell you right then. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll tell you where I've been. First of all, not that it ruined your weekend any, but I was dead. Do you understand that, you fucking bitch? I was dead. While you were sitting here on your ass, I'm in a grave outside of town. I'm fighting death, hell, decomposure. I'm about to come into spiritual form and go in the kingdom of God. I go, wait a second. I better go back because she doesn't know where I've been. So now I gotta fight the angel of death, get my fucking soul back, crawl out of the grave, come over this shit because I missed you, honey.
And of course, if any of you don't know, that is Sam Kinison, who absolutely believed in God till the day he died, and he was a licensed Pentecostal preacher. Sam Kinison. Frank, don't know if you've heard that before, but hope you enjoyed it.
Very much so. I've known that kid for a long time.
There you go. And I'm not even an attorney.
I think it's hard for people not to know Sam Kinison.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're in the audience and you want to come on up, please. We're a friendly bunch. The show is going rather smoothly today, unlike yesterday. And let's see here. You can come on up and talk about anything you want. Let's go around the stage. Violet, how are you feeling today, my sweet?
Pretty good. My hubby and I went out to a place called the Outpost to see a band. They are called the Alter Nation. They cover stuff from the mid 90s to the 2000s when I was in high. And so it was kind of fun. It was like a high school date, except I was mature enough to actually enjoy it instead of worrying about how I looked and if the boy liked me.
Isn't it fascinating that almost everybody, and I'm not no exception, our favorite music is the music that we grew up with in high school, right?
Hell yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That was the most impactful moments of our developmental years, man.
Exactly.
Sticks forever.
There you go. That's right.
Domo arigato, Mr. Robot.
Yes, so JCC, what's going on with you this morning?
I'm out front sitting on my stoop, sipping on some coffee with my dog, having a great room, listening to people talk. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Love that. Let's go back to Matt. Matt, how is Connecticut? I don't show. Oh, there he is. Sorry. Yeah, I just did a PTR. Scott, how about you? Are you getting ready for about 40 minutes to sit in the captain's chair?
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready. I'm shot out of a cannon and absolutely ready. Drinking some more coffee and
Love that. JCC, thank you for reminding me to PTR. Let's go to Matt. Matt, how is Connecticut?
Connecticut is shortly going to be no longer the state I'm in, just about in New York.
Oh, so you're on the road. Did you want to talk about what you're doing or keep that personal for now?
No, yeah. I'm going down to Peloton Studios, New York for my 1100th ride with them.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, wonderful. That sounds great. Let's say hello to Alfonso. Alfonso, how is South America? If you can break away from the fam bam, the kids, you're normally hanging with your fam bam and your kids on Sunday. And he might not. There we go.
I actually never hang out with my kids on Sundays.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Every other Friday and Saturday. This weekend I'm not with them. But I am. You guys are the voices in my head.
We are the voices of your head. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go back to Richard. Richard, how are you on this fine Sunday?
I am fine, Uncle Steve. I did post in the chat kind of an article about one of my latest passions, which everybody knows is trying to be younger, longer with the way you live. So it's in the, if you have an interest in that, just read it. It's in the chat. That's really all I wanted to say.
Absolutely.
And, I hope everybody's having a good day.
Thank you. Let's go to Cora. Cora, any special plans for this amazing Sunday? Cora?
No, I'm doing laundry. It's going to be fun. Yay.
All right. All right. Well, I know you're going to separate those whites and those colors. No question about it. Let's say hello.
We're an integrated household here, Uncle Steve.
Oh, okay. Got it. Let's say hello to Lynn. Lynn, hope you're feeling better. Hope all is well. Good morning.
Hello, everybody. I'm on this side of the earth. Everything's great.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. You said it publicly, so I'm not shy. You were in the hospital about a week to 10 days ago. You had a minor stroke, and then you got out. The day after you got out, which was last week, you called into the show to do some heavy lifting, and on behalf of the Mod Squad, which you are a valuable part of, we just wish you a continuing recovery.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to have lingering effects for a while from the stroke, but like I said, I'm focusing on the positive. So I'm upright and vertical. I am able to walk and talk. So, even though I have some deficits still, I'm looking at the positive. So that's where I am. And today I think I'm going to get a chance to get my darling husband to take me for a little bit of a walk in the park. See if I can get some vitamin D.
There you go. Nicely done. And before we go to Norm, if anybody in the audience wants to come up, please, we encourage you to come up and talk about anything you want. Norm, would you like another fresh five? Norm might be away. There he is. Norm, would you like a fresh five, or are you good? Norm, we cannot hear you, and I do not see a circle around your profile. Norm, you might have to go out and come back in. Okay, Norm, we cannot hear you.
Let's welcome Daryl.
Yes, I was going to say Norm will come back to you. Let's say hello to Daryl. Daryl, good morning. It's a pleasure to see you back on Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting. Would you like a fresh five?
If you could come back to me.
Absolutely, we could come back to you. So if you're in the audience and you want to come up, but you don't know what you want to talk about, this is what I refer to as the best 2 minutes on Clubhouse.
Tonight we have breaking news as we come on the air. Millions in the East are on alert for severe weather. A line of storms targeting major cities, Philadelphia, New York City, up into New England. Damaging wind gusts, heavy downpours, and lightning expected. We're also tracking tropical threats to both the East Coast and the West. Lee Goldberg standing by. Also breaking tonight, President Trump late today is asked about the economy amid the disappointing new jobs numbers. The labor market slowdown, just 22,000 jobs created in August, much worse than expected. Tonight, the major immigration crackdown, hundreds of workers detained at a massive auto plant outside Savannah, Georgia. Authorities say many of them South Korean nationals. It comes after a raid at a food manufacturing plant outside Syracuse. The head of that plant and what he's now saying about the workers who've been hired there. Tonight, the dangerous mission by SEAL Team 6 that reportedly failed. The New York Times first reporting the elite unit that killed Osama bin Laden going behind enemy lines in North Korea using night vision goggles, what they were reportedly hoping to plant there. Before spotting a boat in the water, flashlights aiming toward them, the SEALs reportedly opening fire on that boat. When this played out, and President Trump late today is asked about the mission and what he said. Tonight, Martha Raddatz reporting live from inside Ukraine, where she just interviewed President Zelensky 3 weeks since the Trump-Putin summit in Alaska, and no meeting between Russia and Ukraine. Martha asking President Zelensky about Putin's new invitation for Zelensky to come to Moscow, how he responds. Back in the U.S., a deadly plane crash outside Denver, at least 2 killed, the explosion rocking a business park, what we've learned. Overseas inside Gaza, the moment Israeli strikes level a high-rise building in Gaza City, and the new warning tonight from the Israelis. In the U.S., the dramatic moment in court, the Florida grandmother found guilty of conspiring to kill her own former son-in-law. What then played out in court
is guilty of first-degree murder.
Tonight, the apology. The Eagles' Jalen Carter apologizes for spitting on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott.
There you go.
Tonight, the major news involving WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark. And the Powerball jackpot soaring even higher. Big dreams for this weekend.
And before we go to Norm, Les, Jarl, and Frank, and before we go to Mod Squad Popcorn, just a couple of extra stories. The first millennial saint, Pope Leo the 14th, canonized Carlo Acutis, a 15-year-old Italian who cataloged Eucharistic, Eucharistic miracles online. Eucharistic, thank you very much. Making him the first millennial saint. Also canonized Pier Giorgio Frassate, a social activist from Italy. The church highlights digital evangelization and young role models for modern Catholics. Acutis has been called God's influencer. His canonization signals how the Catholic Church is acknowledging the role of technological faith and worship under pressure. Oh, I already read that for immigrants. Let's do the last story here. LGBTQ Catholics in Rome. Over 1,300 LGBTQ Catholics gathered in Rome for a Vatican-sanctioned pilgrimage, marking a milestone of visibility. Pope Leo the 14th has not issued a public statement, though insiders suggest private support. The event is being called a breakthrough for inclusion, but it highlights the cautious pace of change in the Catholic hierarchy. This moment reflects ongoing tensions between doctrine, pastoral care, and modern realities. And now it's time for Mod Squad Popcorn. Now it's time for Mod Squad Popcorn.
Let me teach you how to eat. Let me teach you how to eat. How to marinate the meat. Let me teach you how to eat. It's a culinary.
Fucking faggot fucking up my shit.
Squad Popcorn. I've gotten some suggestions, though, to play a different song, but I like that song. One of the reasons, of course, it's called Let Me Teach You How to Eat. Number two, it is literally done by somebody named Reverend Horton Heat. And it also kind of wakes everybody up. But if you have a suggestion for another song, please feel free to say it or back channel at me. And now with that...
Back in my day, high school, all the rock and roll bands, but Rush. Rush is my go-to band to remember when I was in high school. Anybody got a favorite band they want to refer? I know what Matt said, Stick.
Y'all probably had mullets, didn't you?
Wait, say again?
Yeah. Y'all probably had mullets, didn't you?
No, I didn't have a mullet. My parents were strict. I wanted long hair, but that was not allowed. So
I had a Jew fro.
What is a Jew
yes,
fro?
I've seen your Jew fro.
Okay, what's a Jew fro, Steve?
It's a loose natural.
Gotcha.
I think we should all post PTRs of our high school selves.
Oh, I could do that. I got one like I think on deck. Hold on. There we go. PTR. And you will see the 15-year-old Cora.
Oh, how cool. That's awesome, Cora. Attractive, very.
That was when my hair was still auburn. That's my natural hair color. It's crazy.
What year did you graduate, if you don't mind sharing?
1992.
Oh.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Yeah. I'm an 86er, so I'm a little older.
Yeah. But my bands, based on my age, I was more of a new romantic / second wave,
Tears for Fears.
And then early grunge. I like Tears for Fears, but I was a little more obscure, I was the record store girl. So, so a lot more New Order, Joy Division stuff.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep, Erasure. I really liked Psychedelic Furs, but they're not mainstream stuff. Yeah. God, so many songs come up, but the Smiths, of course, that was my go-to when I was feeling morose. So, yeah.
I don't have any pictures of myself on my phone from high school, but I tried last night to dress the way I did in high school, flared jeans and a cool t-shirt. And anyway, there's a picture of me on my Facebook page for my Facebook friends.
Man, I look like, oh my goodness. My last couple of years of high school, I had my hair bleached with generally the MO was I would bleach my hair, and then I would take black box dye and just like grab chunks of it and smear like patches of black into it. So, and then I would wear like my general uniform was this raggedy ass black sweater that I'd worn thumb holes into, so my thumbs would stick out, and the sleeves are all the way down, past my wrists. And I had a hot pink baby doll dress that I would wear that over some sort of tights, like usually like black and white, like Harlequin print or like fishnets or something, and then my mallard green Doc Martens. That was Cora in high school the last couple of years.
Are you sure you weren't Ali Sheedy's character in Breakfast Club?
No. I was not a basket case. That's for sure. But yeah.
Frank, nice guitar and nice pick for high school, bro. You must have wooed all the ladies.
That was 1980, so.
Yeah, man.
Doing my best Mick Jagger, I think.
Yeah. No, I think more like the lead singer of like Missing Persons.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere between that and Crazy Jane from from the freaking Doom Patrol.
Let me teach you how to eat. Let me teach you how to eat. How to marinate the meat. Let me teach you how to eat. It's a culinary treat. Let me teach you how to eat. Let me teach you how to bake.
All right, and before we go to Jarl, if you're in the audience and want to come up and talk about anything, your high school memories, God, religion, your teachers, your friends, politics, current events, clubhouse, you, me, come on up. Say hello to Jarl. Jarl, welcome back to Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. Pleasure to have you here because, the show is better with you than without you. What would you like to talk about, Jarl?
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Thanks for bringing me up. I wanted to talk about the news story you mentioned earlier about the illegal immigrants at the Hyundai factory. Super quickly, the comment I wanted to make is I don't understand how something like this can happen in a country where you need to pay taxes for your employees. And I think, sorry, I have a little emergency. I gotta go. Appreciate it, Steve.
Thank you. Well, of course, let me reread the story that I read, and then we can talk about what he's talking about. Let's see here. Come on, where is it? Is it the first one? Not the first millennial. Texas. Worship under pressure. Yeah. Undocumented immigrants in the United States are increasingly turning to virtual sermons, private homes, communion, and small group worship amid fears of deportation under tighter federal enforcement. With churches no longer guaranteed to be safe spaces from ICE, many communities are adapting quietly. For many, technology is now the bridge between faith and safety. It's a shift that shows both resilience and vulnerability. Let's go to Reverend Scott. Reverend Scott, do you have any thoughts on the church arguably no longer being a sanctuary?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is part of this administration, right? I mean, this is this sort of aggressive, which I think a lot of it is theater. I mean, this 1 million deportation quota or whatever, this is just wild. The ICE quota that Stephen Miller has set up, it's crazy, and this is an extension of that, right? And it's something that is sad, right? I mean, churches have traditionally been a place where people who were on the margins could go for sanctuary. And the old tradition is that if you were under some sort of indictment or something, pre-modern indictment, not in a modern legal sense, but what we call indictment, you could, and somebody was
taking out revenge on you, and you thought you were unjustly accused, whatever, you could go to churches for sanctuary. And that tradition in the modern period has transferred to immigrants, to migrants who pick our food, who provide a lot of the labor that we need to keep the economy going. In fact, a lot of people are speculating that Trump's massive deportation efforts have contributed to the slowing economy we're seeing. And I think it's sad that the people that are marginalized don't have the church to look to. But this is yet another extension of the Trump administration, which we live in. And sadly, a lot of people live in fear. People that are paying tax. I have a pastor friend in Vermont. Two Jamaican women were swept away in front of their kid, taken away and detained, forcibly in front of their children. They've been there for years. They're paying taxes. They had Social Security numbers, and the only way we could deal with this was through forcible removal from their children with ICE. I mean, this is just pathetic. But that's the country we live in.
For those of you that don't know, I'm a huge MASH fan, which was on TV, I think, for 11 years. And one of the later shows dealt with Father Mulcahy giving sanctuary to a United States soldier in the Korean War. And the military police wanted to take him away, and Father Mulcahy kept him in sanctuary at a mobile army surgical hospital. And this is the ending scene where Father Mulcahy's superiors gave the final say-so. Check it out.
Surely you must realize, Nick, that even if the command chaplain supports us, you can't stay here forever.
Stop pushing me, Father. I'm not going back.
The consequences of your actions will affect the rest of your life.
What do I care about the rest of my life? It's not worth anything now.
No human life is worthless, especially a young man like yourself with so much of it left to live.
The person I plan to live it with has stuck a knife in me. Don't you understand that?
I called the command chaplain.
And?
He says since this is not a permanent structure, the mess tent cannot be considered a church. I'm afraid in this case, 2 strikes is out.
But this is as permanent a structure as we have. God doesn't issue building permits.
Sorry, Padre.
So am I. I'm not going to let them take this boy. Father, you're trying to play one too many cards. Take him out of there.
Wait, Father, I'm getting out of here.
How dare you? You seek refuge in this house of the Lord when it serves your purpose. Then, when it's no longer convenient, you desecrate it by pointing a deadly weapon at another human being. Private, a faith of convenience is a hollow faith.
I'm warning you, Father. I'm going.
Give me the gun.
No. Stay away from me. Just stay away.
I want you to hand me that rifle. No!
Oh, I'm sorry, Pop. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm a huge MASH fan. Let's try Jarl again, see if his emergency has subsided. Jarl, are you good, or do you have to take care of IRL stuff?
Oh, no, I really appreciate it, Steve. Yeah, sometimes IRL happens, so appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the comment I was going to say, so I'm left-leaning. I call myself socialist sometimes, so, pretty far left. And I support, immigration 100%. But in the case of illegal immigrants being taken advantage of at the high-end they plant, 500 people being taken advantage by one company, I think what everybody should agree on in this case, the left and the right, is that high-end needs to be, something needs to be done to them. Instead of going after the illegal immigrants, we need to start going after the companies who are exploiting these illegal immigrants. I think it's a serious issue that the left should care about too, because these employees were definitely being taken advantage of. They're not being respected. Their rights as employees, which I'm sure is something you know about, Steve, are definitely not being protected. So yeah, just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Yeah, and don't go away. Any employer in the United States, before hiring anybody, is required